A hero isn't born. They're forged in the fire of adversity. When the moment comes, they don't step back. They stand, they fight, not for glory, not for fame, but because something greater than themselves is on the line. Minnesota has never lacked heroes, ordinary men and women who found themselves in extraordinary circumstances, forced to make a choice, to rise or to fall, to surrender or to stand. These are their stories of courage, of conviction, of the battles that shaped a state, a people, and a legacy that still echoes today. In the shadow of Fort Snelling, a man named Dred Scott walked the land, bound, yet dreaming of freedom, enslaved. But standing on free soil, he served an army doctor, never knowing his fight for justice would shape the foundation of a nation. When his enslaver died, Scott seized his moment, taking his battle to the courts, daring America to live up to its promise. His case would divide a country, but his courage would echo through history. On Fort Snelling's high bluff, by the Mississippi's flow, Dred Scott served a doctor in lands of ice and snow. Minnesota's wilderness, a free land it should be, but chains of bondage held him far from liberty. Dred Scott, Dred Scott, your spirit's still alive today. When someone is oppressed, your memory lights the way. Stripped of your rights, a downright shameful sin, but it sparked the war for freedom, and freedom did win. The doctor's life did end, a new master claimed his due, but Dred Scott stood his ground, said my freedom's overdue. In the U.S. courthouse halls, he made his righteous plea. I've lived on free soil, now justice set me free. Dred Scott, Dred Scott, your spirit's still alive today. When someone is oppressed, your memory lights the way. Stripped of your rights, a downright shameful sin, but it sparked a war for freedom, and freedom did win. The Missouri Compromise, a line drawn in the sand, said slaves brought north like Scott should be free in this land. But the highest court in the land said the state's laws didn't matter, denied his personhood, and put a stain on our nation's banner. Dred Scott, Dred Scott, your spirit's still alive today. When someone is oppressed, your memory lights the way. Stripped of your rights, a downright shameful sin, but it sparked a war for freedom, and freedom did win. From Minnehaha's Falls to Mankato's tragic square, the fight for human dignity echoed everywhere. Scott's courage lit to see his dream of freedom won. His fight in Minnesota had only just begun. From Fort Snelling to Stillwater, his story still rings true, a testament to bravery for me and for you. So we remember Dred Scott's name in the land of sky blue waters, his struggle for equality for all sons and daughters. From the Mississippi's banks to the prairies stretching far, Dred Scott's spirit guides us still, like Minnesota's North Star. Freedom, and freedom did win.
In the year 1878, Hubbard Milling Company was established in Mankato. It became a significant part of the area's history, contributing to the local economy. Its flour brand, Mother Hubbard, became well known, and the mill played a vital role in the region's agricultural and industrial growth.
Mankato's heart by the river's bend, the Hubbard name became a friend. Building a mill with vision so clear, a beacon of hope year after year. Heroes of the land, their story untold, turning grain to dreams, their legacy bold. Farmers in the fields, the mill stood tall, their strength and vision inspiring us all. The farmers worked from dawn to dusk, with hands of steel and hearts of trust. The mill brought life to what they'd sow, feeding the dreams that helped us grow. Heroes of the land, their story untold, turning grain to dreams, their legacy bold. Farmers in the fields, the mill stood tall, their strength and visions inspiring us all. Through fires and trials, they stayed the course, their strength and spirit a mighty force. Farmers and millers, side by side, their bond of hope kept dreams alive. Heroes of the land, their story untold, turning grain to dreams, their legacy bold. Farmers in the fields, the mill stood tall, their strength and vision inspiring us all. When you're hungry, when you're down,
Some heroes fight battles on a field, but others take their fight to the streets, the courts, and the hearts of those in need. Heroes for a cause don't seek fame or fortune. They stand up for justice, equality, and change, often at great personal cost. Whether they're marching for civil rights, protecting the environment, or giving a voice to the voiceless, their heroism measured in medals, but in the lives they touch and the movements they inspire. True change doesn't happen overnight, but because of these heroes it happens.
In the aftermath of the Dakota War of 1862, when vengeance swept through Minnesota, one voice rose above the anger: Bishop Henry Whipple. While others demanded blood, he demanded justice. Speaking for a people no one would hear, he stood before presidents, pleaded with the powerful, and risked everything to stop the mass execution of the Dakota. In a time of hatred, Whipple chose mercy, and his fight for humanity still reverberates today.
In the land of lakes and endless skies, where the eagle soars and the pine trees rise, a bishop stood with a heart so wide. For the broken and the wronged he wouldn't hide. From the Dakota plains to the courts of men, he raised his voice again and again. With a trembling hand he wrote the plea: spare their lives, let mercy be. He carried the cross through fire and storm, a beacon of light when the night was long. For justice and peace he stood so strong. Bishop Whipple's faith was a guiding song. When the war drums beat and the treaties lied, he saw the sorrow in the Dakota's eyes. He knelt in prayer, but his actions spoke. A warrior for love in a land that broke. To Lincoln's ear, his message flew: these men are not the evil you pursue. Though history marked him with disdain, he bore the weight of the cries and pain. He carried the cross through fire and storm, a beacon of light when the night was long. For justice and peace he stood so strong. Bishop Whipple's faith was a guiding song. In cathedrals of oak and rivers of stone, he prayed for a land that could atone for every soul, red, white, or gray. He dreamed of a dawn where love held sway. Now his spirit lingers on the breeze, in the rustling leaves and the whispering seas. A hero's tale in a troubled land, a man of faith with a gentle hand. So let us remember, let us strive for the world he dreamed. Let it stay alive through every valley, in every cause. We'll honor the name of Bishop Whipple's cross.
The circus rolled into Duluth a bright June day, with the laughter of a small town and crowds on display. But shadows fell where truth was denied, as a mob lit the flames of hate and pride.
Elias, Elmer, Isaac, names etched in shame,
lynched by a crowd in justice's name. But in the darkest hour, a spark was born, a fight for truth against the storm. Never again in Duluth, they swore, let no man hang by a hate-fueled roar. From the blood on the streets to a law of light, heroes rose to fight the night. Nellie Francis, with courage and grace, took the pain of the past and made her case. Her pen was a sword, her voice a flame. She worked so no one else would know such shame. William stood firm in the courtroom's glare, defending the innocent, seeking what's fair. Together they fought for a law so clear that justice would triumph over fear. Never again in Duluth, they swore, let no man hang by a hate-fueled roar. From the blood on the streets to a law of light, heroes rose to fight the night. A nation watched in silence, some turned away, but the voices of the brave kept the mob at bay. Their courage lit a path, their story told, a stand for justice, a heart so bold. In the shadow of loss, a beacon was raised. Anti-lynching laws would honor the slain. Their lives were stolen, their dreams denied, but the fight for freedom would not subside. Never again in Duluth, they swore, let no man hang by a hate-fueled roar. From the blood on the streets to a law of light, heroes rose to fight the night. For all those murdered, your story lives on, in every voice that speaks for the wrong. Nellie and William, your courage profound ensured that hate would never again surround. Never again in Duluth, they swore, let love and justice close that door. Heroes justice close that door.
Heroism in sports, like in everyday life, isn't always about glory. It's about grit, sacrifice, and rising to the moment when it matters most. Just as first responders run toward danger, and ordinary people become heroes, in a split second, athletes push beyond their limits, play through pain and put their teams above themselves. Whether it's a game-winning shot, a comeback against all odds, or simply leading with heart and integrity, sports remind us that true heroism isn't just about victory. It's about courage, resilience, and and the will to never back down.
For years, Minnesota sports fans endured heartbreak, earning the dreaded label, Loserville. But in 1987, the Minnesota Twins rewrote the script, led by a scrappy, resilient team and the deafening roar of the Metrodome. They shocked the baseball world, capturing their first ever World Series title from underdogs to champions. They didn't just win a trophy, they gave an entire state something it had never known before, the pride of being Titletown, USA.
In '87 it happened on a crisp October night. The Metrodome was glowing with electric light. Tom Kelly at the helm with the plan and the dream. Led our boys to glory, made them a winning team. From underdogs to champions, they turned it all around. Loserville to Titletown, now forever crowned. With Kirby, Kent, and Viola, they played until the dawn. The day the Twins brought victory, our legend carries on. Kirby Puckett's smile, a beacon in the game. Kent Hubback's mighty power brought the crowd to flame. Gaetti with his glove, so quick and ever sure. Minnesota's heroes, their legacy secure. From underdogs to champions, they turn it all around. Loserville to Titletown, now forever crowned. With Kirby, Kent, and Viola, they played until the dawn. The day the Twins brought victory, our legend carries on. From Aurora, Minnesota, that shook the dome that night. Every pitch and every hit filled us with delight. Ladders, ramps, and soaring, a moment frozen in time. The Cardinals faltered as our stars aligned. The right Viola on the mound, his curveball tight and true, pitched us into history as champions anew. In the land of 10,000 lakes, a legend was born. The Twins rose up triumphant on that fateful morn. From underdogs to champions, they turned it all around. Loserville to Titletown, now forever crowned. With Kirby, Kent, and Viola, they played until the dawn. The day the Twins brought victory, our legend carries on. So here's to '87, to that team so brave and bold. Their story etched forever in Minnesota gold. From Loserville to Titletown, the transformation complete. The Twins are pride eternal, made victory so sweet. From underdogs to champions, they turned it all around. Loserville to Titletown, now forever crowned. With Kirby, Kent, and Viola, they played until the dawn. The day the Twins brought victory, our legend carries on. The roar of Minnesota that shook the dome that night. Every pitch and every hit filled us with delight. Credence grand slam soaring, a moment frozen in time. The Cardinals faltered as our stars align. Right Viola on the mound, his curveball tight and true, pitched us into history as champions anew. In the land of 10,000 lakes, a legend was born. The Twins rose up triumphant on that fateful morn. So here's to '87, to that team so brave and bold. Their story etched forever in Minnesota gold. From Loserville to Titletown, a transformation complete. The Twins are pride eternal, made victory so sweet.
They just have to golf every day and every night. A red-haired girl took to the green with all her might. She just loved to golf every day and every night. They told her to stay home, to marry and conform, but Patty Bird just defied the norm. Turned the future of women's golf into something bright. They called her dynamite. She's the spark breaking every mold. With every swing, every win, her stories go. In the fight for women's rights, Patty's story shines so bright. That's why the press nicknamed her Dynamite. Dynamite, Dynamite. In 46 she made history, leading the way, winning the first U.S. Women's Open, changing the play. From title holders to Western Open, she blazed a trail. Minneapolis' own Dynamite, she would not fail. It's just my destiny was all she had to say. They called her Dynamite. She's the spark breaking every mold. With every swing, every win, her stories bold. In the fight for women's rights, Patty's story shines so bright. That's why the press nicknamed her Dynamite. Dynamite, Dynamite. Through the war she served with honor and grace, then back to her hometown Greece to reclaim her place. She founded the LPGA, the first president with pride, leading the charge with Dynamite by her side. They said the course was no place for women to compete, but Patty proved them wrong with every victory sweep. With courage and passion, she shattered the glass. Minneapolis Dynamite, first and foremost in her class. A champion from her head down to her feet. They call her Dynamite. She's the spark breaking every mold. With every swing, every win, her stories bold. In the fight for women's rights, Patty's story shines so bright. That's why the press nicknamed her Dynamite. Dynamite, Dynamite. From the Hall of Fame to every friend she made, her legacy of strength will never fade. Shake a hand, make a friend, she'd always recite. Minneapolis' own Patty Bird, forever Dynamite. They called her Dynamite. She's the spark breaking every mold. With every swing, every win, her stories bold. In the fight for women's rights, Patty's story shines so bright. That's why the press nicknamed her Dynamite.
By the banks of the Mississippi, in the heart of the Twin Cities, lies a team in purple with dreams and aspirations so pretty. But the years roll by and the heartbreaks never rest. It's the story of the Vikings, our playoff quest. So take me out to the Dome or US Bank if you please. Show me those highlights of our rare victories. Let me hear the roar of the crowd, the Skull chant loud and clear. For the Vikings, oh the Vikings, another disappointing year. From Tarkenton to Culpeper, to Cousins and beyond, we've had our share of heroes in whom we grew so fond. But when January comes and the stakes are raised so high, it seems our dreams get shattered underneath that winter sky. So take me out to the Dome or US Bank if you please. Show me those highlights of our rare victories. Let me hear the roar of the crowd, the Skull chant loud and clear. For the Vikings, oh the Vikings, another disappointing year. I've seen the Hail Mary and the 41 donut day, the missed field goals and chances slipping away. But still I wear my purple and cheer them on each fall, hoping that someday soon we'll answer that Super Bowl call. Oh, the stories we could tell of games we almost won, the miracle in Minneapolis where victory just begun. But as the seasons fade and the snow begins to fall, we find ourselves lamenting that we've never won it all. So take me out to the Dome or US Bank if you please. Show me those highlights of our rare victories. Let me hear the roar of the crowd, the Skull chant loud and clear. For the Vikings, oh the Vikings, another disappointing year. When my time has come and I've cheered my final cheer, remember me in purple with a Viking horn near. And as they lay me down in that Minnesota snow, I'll dream of Lombardi and the ring we've yet to know. So take me out to the Dome or US Bank if you please. Show me those highlights of our rare victories. Let me hear the roar of the crowd, the Skull chant loud and clear. For the Vikings, oh the Vikings, another disappointing year. So take me out to the Dome or US Bank if you please. Show me those highlights of our rare victories. Let me hear the roar of the crowd, the Skull chant loud and clear. For the Vikings, oh the Vikings, another disappointing year.
Before the Ringling Brothers became the greatest show on earth, they honed their craft in the small towns of southern Minnesota, testing their acts, fine-tuning their performances, and captivating early audiences. They laid the foundation for what would become the most legendary circus in history. From humble beginning to a global spectacle, the Ringlings turned dreams into dazzling reality, proving that even the biggest shows start in the smallest places. In Baraboo, August Ringling worked with leather and with steel, crafting reins and harnesses, his work a steadfast wheel. But his wife Salome Julia, from the heart of St. Clair's land, tied Minnesota spirit to the dreams they'd later plan. The Julia name held strong, with roots so deep and wide. A harness maker's family brought a circus to life with pride. From a harness maker's dream to a world-renowned scene, electric ties to Minnesota's ground. The Julian race show ponies where dreams could still be found. The brothers came to visit, performed in nearby towns, testing out their wonders before fame would come around. Circus wagons built with care, ponies trained to shine. Minnesota's choir starlit the ringling's grand design. From a harness maker's dream to a world-renowned scene, where the Ringling Brothers rose to reign supreme. From the fields of St. Clair to the East Coast lights, it all began with a dream under Minnesota nights. While Baraboo claims glory, St. Clair holds the heart, where family ties and harness dreams first played their part. Nicholas Julia's steady hand, Salome's guiding love, brought the magic of the circus from the prairies to above. From a harness maker's dream to a world-renowned scene, where the Ringling Brothers rose to reign supreme. With Julia's steady vision and Salome's rooted gleam, it all began right here with a harness maker's dream. Yeah. It all began right here with a harness maker's dream. Then there is a different type of hero, not one who is written about in headlines or history books, but one whose impact is measured in quiet acts of compassion. These are the heroes who shelter the homeless, care for the developmentally disabled, and stand as a lifeline for those who might otherwise be forgotten. Their strength isn't in fame or fortune, but in the dignity they restore and the hope they provide. They don't seek recognition,